everyone. Welcome for another revolution around town, and I am in a very stylish spot with a beautiful lady here. I am joined today by Hollerbach with Coastal Lux Interiors, and she's going to tell us a lot about what they do in general in our community and what they do for all of their clients, and then we'll talk about the cool spot that we're in.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Well, my name is Hollerbach. I'm with Coastal Lux Interiors, and we do full design. We are located on 66th Avenue North in Myrtle Beach. We have about a 10,000 square foot showroom. Today we are showcasing a full model that we've done from head to toe. It came to fruition while we were in COVID. We worked through Zoom calls with inspiration boards with the builder, which is Nation's Homes. And we collaborated on their wishes and wants, just like we do with clients. And along with their build selections and our interior design, we've created what we feel is something fabulous and exciting.
So special. We're going to do a tour through this house here in a little while, but I mean, just the touches. I feel like touch on for like if someone is, going into a home, what the value, I mean, I know the value, but like to hire someone to help pull the spaces together.
Okay.
Because even going through my own home now, it's like, I really want her just to come over because I try to pull it together, but I'm scared of like the color touches, and I'm scared, where all the rooms kind of flow together. How can you make, defined spaces, but everything looks so pretty? And
yes,
they've done that.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a couple ways, we can go about this. So if you've lived a lifetime, which most people have, and you have some things, we can come in and build on your foundation. What we've done here is we've started from scratch. Not everybody can do that, but basically it's all about planning, budget drives expectation, and just really communicating with us and with the client. It's really about building trust, going with your gut instinct. If we show you something and you don't like it, if it doesn't, I would say if it doesn't feel good in here, it's not right. No. It's not right. So here we've done a lot of different things. We've done space planning, we've done exterior and interior selections when it comes to colors and material. And then when we do our tour on the inside, we can touch on all of the different layers that we do with interior design, because there's a transition from new construction build to interior design, and that typically transitions at about the paint. Right. When you're trying to choose your paint. Yeah. So from there, what would you like to know as well?
Well, I mean, that's awesome. And I didn't know this, but if you are building a custom home yourself and you're working with the builder, Holly can come in and help you figure out the whole, because it's hard to envision what the outside of your house is going to look like, what color you should paint it. And usually, these neighborhoods have 50 different colors you can choose from, and you're like, all right, well, I kind of like this color, but is this the color I'm going to have for my whole life on the outside of my house, and really define what it's going to look like then going in and tying all that together, so you can help them with everything.
Right, absolutely. So there can be a really nice transition from the outside to the inside. Obviously, if you're in a planned community, you might have an A or B that you have to go before, and there'll be guidelines. But I'm always a fan of work within the guidelines. Especially on the exterior. The interior is kind of a free-for-all. Yeah. And so really it's making it cohesive with selections of transitioning from room to room as far as the flooring and the granite and the cabinets, the plumbing fixtures, the lighting, the fans, the light fixtures, the location of floor outlets. Awesome. There's a lot of details. So when wanting a seamless house, the value, what you were talking about earlier, which I failed to touch on, the value of hiring an interior designer is they can help you visualize we can do three-dimensional, very cool. 2020 chief architect. We also do some programs where we can superimpose a window treatment on the wall with the pattern repeat within the style of the window treatment to help you visualize, because a lot of these purchases are an investment. Yeah, big time. Just like a car, right? And so we want to make sure that it's the right scale, the right size, and you like it visually. Right. Well, and you want a good, solid piece that's going to be, hanging there. I mean, you're going to put the investment in. Even if you have an older home and you're trying to update it, updating all of the lighting in the house could be a daunting task, but it could really make a huge difference. Absolutely. Lighting is what I call the jewelry of the room. I love that. The jewelry of the room will speak to you. If you walk out of the house and you have no jewelry on, like I have right now, because we are finishing the details, because we're getting ready for a ribbon cutting today at 4. We've sent out invites. The jewelry of the room is the lighting. So you can really change up an existing home and make it interesting with the lighting and even the plumbing fixtures, and update just some of the, appliances. Sometimes just updating color. I like to say a neutral foundation is good. That way you can add color on top, whether it's seasonally or, some people follow fashion and trends, so they may do it spring and fall. That's very ambitious financially. But, whatever you're comfortable with.
Right, and then same. And I was like, I always laugh. It's like I love like the seasonal pillows or changing up a little bit of a color and that kind of stuff. But I always ask my girlfriends. I have one girlfriend that does this all the time. I'm like, where do you store all this? And I don't know why in my brain I didn't think about it. She's like, they're just covers. They're flat. They just go into the drawer, and I just pull out the seasonal one every time. I'm like, okay, that's so smart. But you go to the store and there are all these really cool pillows.
Yes.
And you end up, this year bought a couple for Christmas, but then I'm like, now they're stored into a closet, taking up space.
Yes.
So there's ways to kind of, rotate your house through.
Absolutely, rotate seasons. Yeah, if you're challenged with storage, that can be a whole nother topic and a whole another area to touch on. But seasonal, interchanging seasonal items, just having that neutral foundation, and then looking toward yourself to see, what do I like? If I am trendy, do something trendy. But if you're classic, don't do anything trendy. You won't be happy with it long term. So when you walk in the store in the latest season of, it's lime green right now, and I'm just being facetious, don't succumb to your long-term plan. Like if you haven't finished a space and you have a long-term plan, because we can do everything, right? But then sometimes we're going to do the foundation pieces and we're going to add layers. So I'm always a fan of don't go off track. Don't go off the plan, because you can really get yourself in a pickle picking up odds and ends that really, it ends up being not cohesive.
Yes, and then you end up running around taking stuff back and it doesn't seem to fit right and all that. I always have an issue, and if you can add like a few tips to this before we go for our tour, is just, and we can look through this throughout the house, but the accessories on your, your shelving and in your cabinets and all that kind of stuff, like, how you build that look. Like you have a book with like a ball on it and then a little tiny plant and a spiky, and I'm like, I can never figure that out. I'm at the store sitting there looking at all of the cool things, and I'm like, and I'm trying to do their shelves and then it never translates completely when you get home.
So there's a service that we do, in addition to doing a full home and full accessorizing. So we have been known, my team and I, to come in and basically repurpose what you have and re-accessorize what you have. And sometimes you don't know what you have because you kind of put a blind eye up to it, right? You've seen it every day, you've lived in it every day, and we come in and we pull things together and do color blocking. It's also about scale. If you have a really tall shelf and you have a large item, you really want that large item to go up high so it doesn't shrink on you, and smaller items to be more eye level. As far as the layering and things, it's funny, I have a few people that I work with and they're not in design, they're more of a support staff, and which we just re-accessorized our floor, and they're like, Holly, what's next? It's exciting and I need help. But I'm like, well, sometimes you just can't jump into a designer's mind. And I think it just comes through years of doing it, experience. There is technical training for me. I went to school for design, but there's some things that you can't learn in school. It's just you learn hands-on and in the field. And
you have to have that feel. Like I feel like there's some people, it's just, you can't do every job, right? Like you just have to have that in you to know, and the eye to look and say, oh no, these are going to be together. Because for me, like, I look through some of these rooms and I'm like, these are so cool. Like, to mix the patterns and the colors and the font, and I mean, the whole thing is like,
it's kind of
crazy to me. But then you look at it all together and you're like, oh my god, I love this.
It's an unspoken art. It's almost like a dance. You know, it's just when you not that there's any music in my head, but when it's just kind of, when you see it, you know it. And then when you're working with a client, you can present things, and I'll say to them, listen, it might be the craziest idea we've ever discussed, but if you love it, great. If you don't, it won't hurt my feelings. And you either adopt it, you dismiss it, or if at least I brought one thing to the table that you didn't think of, and you have a wow factor about it, then I've achieved something. So,
and you've opened their eyes to not just what it is. I go back to my own, personal, but I was like, I created a space in our house that is just very calming. Because I always felt like we went really dark in our other colors. So this house is very light, very neutral and that kind of stuff. And I was like, I didn't want anyone to walk in the house and have something smack you in the face, but I was like, but now I feel like I need something smack you in the face.
Yes, we'll add your pop of color to your house.
Color in there. So I'm going to see a lot of inspiration through here. But let's start talking about a little bit. So tonight they actually are doing a ribbon cutting with the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce down here, and a little business after hours. So if you're a member of the chamber, go online and RSVP, and you can come out here. But this is a beautiful neighborhood. Water's Edge.
Yep, Waterside Edge.
Waterside Edge here in Grand Dunes. And there's 3 different builders that can build in here, which is nice because it keeps all the elevations looking different. Nothing's going to be the same. And we are here with Nation's Homes.
Yes.
And you guys designed this, and it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I mean, you can buy a home in here, have Nations build it, and still have Holly come and do all of your interior design.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether you're building, or remodeling, we can help you with the design element of that.
Yeah.
Because you have all of these, I call it, it's a puzzle, right? You have all these pieces that you need to select and keep it cohesive. So yes, we can definitely help you.
Awesome. All right, so we are upstairs here in this room. So we'll kind of check out all this upstairs, and then we'll move downstairs, and you can see the whole place.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab this, and we are going to move through everything.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start kind of back over here where you were. I'm going to keep following. You're like, I am following you, my love. All right, so here's the room up here. You can see right behind us was this beautiful, I mean, it's the tallest.
Yeah, so
picture.
What we did was we tried to accentuate the height of this loft area by getting a large piece of art, one big statement piece. We have kind of a loft mini sectional with some it's a blacked out chrome look.
It's beautiful.
To the table with glass with mirrors, so it reflects light. The rug kind of has a little bit of a chevron tone-on-tone gray pattern, and then when you pan over to the right with the bar area,
oh, this thing is so cool.
The glass chevron pattern on the back of the bar with the floating shelves, it just really kind of plays off the area rug. Here we are finishing up, setting up the bar area for our venue and our tour this evening of the home with our ribbon cutting. And so we finished the room with a console under the TV. And
I will tell you, I appreciate a designer that will put the TV in. Because that's, in my life, that is, something that it's a staple. We sit around together, we watch TV, but, a lot of designers won't put it in because they just, even downstairs, it's there and it's not hidden.
Yeah, and if someone comes in us and they're like, I don't like the TV in a room, there are a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
To, we can do barn doors that slide over top of it. It can be a tapestry. We have pieces of furniture that have their lift cabinets where the TV lowers down inside.
Oh, that's cool.
Of the unit. You probably saw the window treatments, pinch pleated, with
I love that.
The hardware. If you notice, the rings are square. They're not round rings with the lucite or acrylic end caps there, and so we match the hardware to everything going on in the room with the plumbing. The sink has kind of a hammered copper interior of it, just to give it some interest. And then the face of the cabinets, we picked some hardware that kind of emulates hammered copper, but it's not a hammered copper.
Oh, it's so cool.
So, when we worked with them at the build stage, we selected, the granite, the cabinet finish. We read their plans with them and their team, because we were a team in this, their blueprints. So up here, this is kind of, it could be a mother-in-law suite. It's a loft bedroom area.
Yep, so we have a full bath here.
Yes, excuse
the liquor bottles. We did not drink those, promise.
Empty from, thank you to the library. They supplied all these empty bottles, and we are filling our bar. So we have, how do you like this floor?
I love this floor.
So we have that